Hello everyone, how you doing? You're very welcome to this week's LOUGHKEY Triathlon with myself, Aidan Raftery, and of course, as always, we have William Little. Hello, William. How are you? Are you well?
Yeah, I'm great. Thanks, Aidan. Great to be back.
It's great to have you on board again as well, and it'd be great to catch up. And I suppose in our first interview we were discussing like about the club itself and the achievements that you had, like prior to when we last had the interview, and there was a lot of achievements, in that interview that was very impressive as well. 12 months on from our last discussion, and I think there was some more very impressive achievements and I suppose events that you took part in the since the last time we spoke.
Yeah, it's been a very busy 12 months. We've had athletes at so many races across the country. We recently launched new club gear as well. I was talking to you after our sprint triathlon last year, after our own sprint, and
Yeah,
we're a week away from our sprint this year. So our sprint is happening next week.
very
But
good.
since I was talking to you, we launched new club gear. So our new club gear has been seen at all the different triathlons and throughout the country all year, and it really stands out. It's the bright green, and we've a new logo, and we have the castle from LOUGHKEY on it as well.
That's great.
But
And I saw it
I
there.
can
You
run over
sent
some
it
of the
on to me
results.
there. Some of the pictures, and it's very nice gear. So yeah, fair play. And
I can run
yeah,
over some of the different achievements that members have had over the 12 months.
that's correct. Yeah, that'd be lovely to hear. So yeah,
Now,
so
I probably can't mention them all because we've had so many, but I'll try and stick to the ones that are triathlon related if I can.
yeah, of
So,
course.
so since I was talking to you last year, I actually raced in Sligo since last September. After the week after we done our own sprint, I managed to get second in my age group, which doesn't I don't normally end up in any podium, so that was nice.
Very good.
Anya finished second overall in Athlone. I think that was the same weekend actually. That was the week after our own triathlon as well. So Anya O'Connor.
Very good.
Mark Butler raced in Menorca. He done a half Ironman in Menorca, a 70.3 in October, I think it was. He finished second in his age group. So that was a brilliant achievement. We spoke about Donica Holmes last year. Donica Holmes has raced at 6 or 7 Ironman, maybe more, maybe a lot more. Um, he's been in Kona in the past, but I was talking to you last year, and he was after qualifying for Kona again, and that he was actually in Kona since I was talking to you. He was in Kona in October,
Very
so that's
good.
his second world. That was his second World Championships to racing. So Donica Holmes has been to Kona twice. Which
Hello.
sorry, are we still there? Are we?
Yeah, yeah, we're here. Yeah.
Yeah. So Donica has been to Kona 2 times, and like from a fella from Leitrim County in Ireland, like it's amazing. So
That's very good.
that sort of closed up the end of last year. As um, I can run into this year some of the different results we've had.
Exactly. Yeah, that'd be lovely. And of course, like I think when you look at Boyle and a lot of counties around Ireland, when you consider the sort of terrain and there's loads of rivers and swimming pools and different kind of place for running for the three stages of a triathlon. There's plenty of even if you're away on a holiday or something and you want to get stuff in or you want to do a bit of training when you're away, no matter where you go in Ireland, you'll always find a great places around Ireland to train.
Yeah, but yeah, we're very lucky with the location we have.
Yeah,
So
that's it. That's the great thing with Boyle. Like you have the river there and some lovely forests and different things like that. It's you couldn't ask for better. Sure, you couldn't.
yeah, I
So,
just finished up on some of the results.
mm,
Um, running into this year, now we've had so many, as I say, but Ruth Camden is a member. She was first female overall in Gale Force West. So not that's an adventure race.
yeah,
But Ruth has been doing. She's been on so many podiums this year. She's really excelling at the mountain running, like long distance mountain running, like um, and then turning it back to triathlon again. We'll say Dimna Kelly and Anya O'Connor. I think Dimna Kelly has been on 4 podiums. I was just trying to weigh it up there. She's been on 4 podiums this year. Anya O'Connor has been on three, which one of them was third in her age group in Cork half Ironman. So brilliant. And Ashling Boyd, another member of ours, finished second female overall in Westport this year at triathlon. Um, we had another triathlete actually finish a full Ironman. Aoife O'Connor has finished a full Ironman there again only last weekend in Cork. So that's her second actually. That's her second year in a row doing a full. So super achievements altogether.
That's great.
For a small club, yeah.
That's it. And I think you were saying as well, just about there's it's one of those sports that's for all abilities, isn't it? Because like whether you're into the endurance, as in the long distance stuff, or the short distance, or whether you're beginner or advanced or expert, there's something for everyone, and that's a great thing about triathlon as well.
Very much so. Like, we've members from all ages, female, male, all ages, young, old, all out competing. Like, we're all doing the same courses and getting through them, and it's the same buzz for us all. Yeah, but it really is very inclusive of everyone.
That's it.
Now, we've been very busy. There's lots of other things we're involved in over the year. Like, we've been very busy as a club.
That's great when you consider like how how long you're in existence. It's great to have so many achievements in that time.
Yeah, another project we teamed up with since I was last talking to you, we teamed up with Park Run, and Park Run is a brilliant event. It's a 5K run in LOUGHKEY Forest Park every Saturday morning. Now, we've nothing to do with Park Run as such, but we've took it over 3 times since. So there's been 3 times since I was talking to you. We've actually went down, all our own members marshaled it all, and we took it over for that particular Saturday. So we've done that 3 times since, and we intend to do it several more times next year, and maybe even before this year is out. We're the people that normally run it, like, we can give them a break for a week, and we can go down and we can take over it, and we can rerun it. So that's been nice. Since I was talking to you as well, actually, something I've been involved in myself, actually, and my wife. We've set up a junior park run, which is a 2K run on a Sunday. So this is going off topic a little bit from triathlon, but it's still great to see kids with something to do on a Sunday, and it's still motivates them to get out and do their 2K. And my own 2 kids love it as well. So that's something that's that's only been 3 weeks on the go now. So hopefully that'll keep going every Sunday for the young kids.
And I suppose from your point of view as a member of the club, it's kind of essential that you're coming across with new things that I suppose develop and grow various aspects, and maybe bring in new things and new projects into the club to be even more inclusive to, as you just said there, kids and that. But also, the different parts of triathlon and other things is, it develops people character-wise as well, as in, determination, and it kind of, the social aspect of it as well. And I know it is kind of one of those sports that's that is kind of weather dependent to an extent. But I suppose that's part of a character building as well.
Yeah, but no, it's a great social sport. Like, we can go for a cycle on a Saturday and go for coffee after. We held a duathlon series this year, and that, as I was telling you last year, that involves 4 or 5 other clubs, and you take it a week about for 5 or 6 weeks, and you host a duathlon.
Yeah.
But that's all. That all ends in coffee and tea and socially like. We've also had an Aquanon series since I was talking to you. That's 4 or 5 events that takes place over the month of June. That's a swim and a run, where a duathlon, as I mentioned, was a run and a bike. But the Aquaton is a swim and a run. So we've had a series of them as well, and 5 or 6 of them every week, and that ends in tea, coffee, and chats, cake, all the rest as well. So socially, it is a great sport socially, and like it's a very supportive sport. Like, if you were to race, like, you'll stand till the end and support and cheer everyone in. My own kids love going to races, cheering people in, and it doesn't matter if they're first across the finish line or we're halfway through or at the end. It doesn't make any difference. Everyone's doing the same course, so it's great crack supporting everyone in and getting them across the line. And
of course, that inspires your kids that they'll want to do it when they're old enough to do it as well, and it's something they'll take with them, And I suppose it's there's a lot of, like I just said there, a lot of skills and qualities from that they can take into their own lives as well, and into their futures, be it like in college or their work or their jobs or whatever they're doing. And that's great character building for them. And long may it continue. And But I suppose really looking ahead as well now, that there's also the future and I suppose look at we're coming into September now. There isn't too much left of 2023. So I suppose what have you left? What are the plans for the remainder of 2023 and going into 2024?
Yeah, well, the big plan obviously is our own triathlon is coming up this Sunday. So that's the main priority at the moment. So an awful lot of organising going into that at the moment.
So could you take us into give us a bit of I suppose a bit of a discussion about that, and of course how people can take part. Can they register on the day, or do they have to register online, or do they have to get a form from somewhere and fill it out and send it in, or how do they go out if they want to take part in it?
So it's online only, and it's done
Okay.
through the Triathlon Ireland website. You have to go onto the Triathlon Ireland website and look at the race calendar, and you can search for our race. And then I think you have till Thursday night.
Right. Okay.
So it's closing Thursday, the 31st. So as far as I know, it's Thursday midnight. We're nearly full. So if anyone wants any places, you better snap them up quick. I think we're down to the last 10 or 12. So it's going to be a big entry this year. Yeah, it's going to be a fairly big race. So that's where all our time is going at the moment, is organising and getting marshals lined up. Thanks to everyone who's already signed up, because we can't do it if people don't sign up. We can't have an event. And thanks also in advance to all our marshals. It takes about 60 marshals to run it smoothly. So thanks in advance, because we've that roster nearly full as well.
That's great, and it's a very positive thing to do. And of course, another aspect, I suppose, that people could use it as, and it's a great way of it's raising funds for a lot of very important charities that do great work around the country. There's so many to mention. If you mention one, you have to mention them all, kind of thing. But that's another great. If you want to do it as a sponsored thing as well, that's another thing. That's another angle people could do to raise money.
Yeah. Well, I say our own triathlon sort of breaks even every year, but some people might choose to do it for charity and raise money themselves. There's lots of other smaller run races and stuff around the country that we support and our members support for charity, and so it's great to see people out training and being active. Like it's a very exciting time for sport. Like whether it be walking, running, cycling, swimming. Like it's very exciting, and in the area alone, was just as we mentioned, like the kids park run starting up is very exciting. We also have there's also a new swim club in our locality. Boyle have set up a swim club, so where they're not related to our swimming, but it's still very exciting that there's more options there for people. Like Boyle have a cycling club that's been in existence for an awful long time, but like the Curly Wheelers, it's great to see so many clubs and all doing well, members out in the mall, and encouraging everyone to be out being active. It's amazing to see. Like it's a very exciting time for sport.
And of course, like when you think about the sport in general in Ireland, when you look at the Olympics, how it's going, I suppose the Ireland ladies soccer team, how it's going, the men's rugby team qualifying are in the World Cup, Budapest there, the World Championships as well. And all the different sports, there's a lot of athletes and a lot of players having great success. And it kind of, this can be used as part of training as well, because it's endurance, and that's something that will benefit, we say, rugby players, soccer players, even athletes, doing, we say, marathons or that. So you can cross reference different sports, and one sport can kind of benefit the other, which is great as well.
It gives you a great base fitness, like like triathlon and long distance running. Like you get a great base under you, like especially that long winter stuff. Like any sport can benefit from long, easy training during the winter. Like long, easy bike rides, long runs. Any sport benefits from that, in my opinion. Like.
And even as part of it, like pre-season training or something, like if you can do something like that, then you last 90 minutes of a soccer match, or you last 70 minutes of an inter-county match or something like that. So that's where it is, because it's not until you're actually doing something competitive like that you say, "Ginny, I'm glad I did the triathlon or whatever," because I suppose the endurance required for that is a huge benefit to things, like that, especially at an elite level in sport.
Yeah, and we do have members that play football. Actually, they might get on
Yeah.
board all spring and do some of the long cycles with us, or they might do that duathlon series. And it's a bit of crack in the spring when there's not much matches happening, and it's base training. It's good endurance that will carry through for the rest of the year.
And of course, the other aspect is the places you get to see and visit. And I suppose the friends you make in different parts of the country. Like, I know we say from my point of view, doing what I'm doing, and when I was a player, you play against different clubs and you travel the country playing friendlies or whatever, or as a physio doing the same kind of thing. You meet people you meet people through that,
Yeah,
that otherwise you wouldn't have known. It's the same. It's the same in this as well, isn't it?
it's the very same. Yeah, it's a very friendly sport. Like no matter where you go or where people are from, it's you meet people like, and no matter what you're doing, it's all very friendly. Um, Racing like, and yeah, it's very friendly. Yeah.
And I suppose from another point of view, here's a curveball for you. Imagine, could you ever see it becoming an Olympic sport, or is there plans for it to be an Olympic sport, or is it nowhere near? But because I think if you look at, we say, the likes of the walking or whatever, that's whatever 30, 40, 50 miles or whatever of a walk. That's endurance as well. So I mean that's an Olympic sport, or marathon running. This would be the same kind of a thing. So I suppose you could say that there might be a chance that this is something that could be an Olympic sport as well, or is that kind of way in the distance?
You might have caught me off guard now.
It's just more an opinion, or what your thoughts are, really, more than facts or anything. It's just, what are your thoughts on that? Do you feel that maybe it could be something that could be
I don't know if you've caught me off
sport?
guard now. I might have to Google it. Is sprint distance not already an Olympic sport?
It could be, yeah.
I'd have to check that out. Yes, it's not something I really follow professionally, but I love doing it on this level.
And I suppose going on about that, obviously the
Check it out.
tragedy that happened 2 weeks ago in Cork, the triathlon, it was organised, or it was run by Triathlon Ireland, and it was the Ironman contest. Obviously, two people passed away in the swimming section of it, and look, I'm sure yourself, William, and myself would like to send our condolences, thoughts, and prayers to the families. But what are your thoughts on the event? Because it's normally a very well organized. It's a well organized event, and people came to it from all over the world, which just goes to show you the sort of I suppose the pull or the attraction that Ireland has, that people would travel from different parts of the world to take part in this event.
Yeah, so it's ran by Ironman Ireland, and it's sanctioned by Triathlon Ireland, our governing body.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah.
I'm not going to really get into the politics of what happened or what didn't happen, but the swim shouldn't have happened. Yeah. I'm not going to say why it happened or why it didn't happen or why they went ahead with it. Just the swim shouldn't have happened. It was an awful loss that two people didn't come out of the water.
Yeah.
It has effect, and it's an awful dark cloud over the sport at the moment, because that was a very exciting weekend for our club. We had 14 members in it. Yeah. And trained all year, and like for a small club like us to have 14 members down there, 13 doing a half and one doing a full, like that in itself is a huge achievement to get that many people that far. And it's turned out to be, a very devastating event for us all. Since there was 14 of us, including myself, down there, so we're all dealing with the loss of two athletes that we didn't know personally, but it doesn't make any difference. They turned up to do the same thing we did that morning, and they didn't come home.
Yeah.
So the thoughts with their families, our condolences with their families, and I also like to just think that there's 2,000 people there that are affected by that.
Yeah.
I'd like to think about them as well. I know us as a club personally, like we're all struggling to deal with that weekend. So just thoughts with everyone else that was actually there, because a lot of people are feeling different emotions over that. Maybe anger, guilt for getting in themselves, or sadness for the loss of the two people. Which is very unfortunate, because it should have been a very exciting weekend that we should have been all looking back on a high still from, but that's not the case. So
and of course as well, that out of this as well, I suppose you would have seen part of it as well, that the great thing about it was everyone was there to comfort each other as well, which was as I say, through something tragic like that, it was nice to see everyone kind of comforting each other. And of course, I think there was counselling available for everyone as well. So that was there was a great sense of togetherness from it as well.
Yeah.
So it would have been great if no one if the tragedy hadn't happened. But
Just mentioned that too. Yeah, Triathlon Ireland have offered free counselling for anyone affected by the event, any of its members. The counselling service is a bait, so they can look up that. But if they bring up a bait or contact a bait, any members, it's just in case anyone's watching this. And once you're Triathlon Ireland membership, Triathlon Ireland will cover it. So if anyone out there is a member of Triathlon Ireland and is affected by that weekend, just don't be afraid to reach out.
That's it, and that's very useful to know, and because I suppose it's not unless you're involved in it or maybe you've known those two people, but even if you're, the way to see it is that if you're an athlete or if you're doing that sport and then someone else is doing the exact same thing as you are, you're all part of one big group, and as you said, everyone feels it. So
yeah,
it is great to see that, and our thoughts and prayers are with everyone that was involved in that, and all the athletes that were involved in it as well. They're feeling the loss as well. So listen, thanks very much, William. Is there anything else you need to let us know about that's coming up or anything like that?
There, but Cork too, like we are very close knit, and we're a very close knit club, and we are supporting each other through last weekend as well. What went wrong, and there's a few other highlights. We'll get on a more positive spin now again.
Yeah,
we two club members got married back in April.
Very good.
My brother Paul Little and Hazel Cooney, both club members. So that was a very exciting. The two club members got married. I sent you a picture actually of the two of them there with an old vintage bike.
I'll get that. I'll be putting that up on the video later on as well. Yep.
And as I said, we ran a very successful aquathon series, duathlon series. We're also running a TT series at the moment. That's on every Tuesday. That's basically just a time trial on your bike.
Yeah.
Say 15 or 20 of us turn up, and we'd have a route set out from A to B, and we time ourselves from that point. And we've a series running at the moment. Yes, that's good. That's good fun too, and very social and good fun. And it's training, it's adding a bit of fun into the training. And as I said, our triathlon is coming up this Saturday or this Sunday, so that's going to be a very exciting. There's a bit of a surprise for anyone that has entered. There is a bit of a surprise in the goodie bag, and it hasn't really been released yet. So I mightn't say too much, but it's to do with the outdoors, and they might be able to.
If you want to find out, you have to join. Isn't that it?
Yeah, they might be able to grow something to go home. Put it that way. So
that's great, and of course,
it's an environmentally friendly approach this year in the goodie bag. So there is a surprise for anyone that signed up.
Very good. Something for them to look forward to.
Definitely, yeah, it'd be a bit of a surprise. So thanks again for everyone that's signed up and everyone that's going to Marshall. So I think that's a lot of it. That's a lot of what happened over the last 12 months.
That's great, and
members. I've mentioned different results we've had in triathlon, but we've had members take part in runs, swim events, mountain runs, and being on podiums, and we've lots of different results, adventure races. But I just sort of kept it triathlon based for this. But we've had so many results from members, and we normally there's normally one of us at some event, that's going, or a few of us, and you'll see us in the bright green gear, new gear we have. So
that's good. I'll be putting that up later on as well. Yeah, on the video. Yeah, that's it. And of course, the new branch of it, of course, is matchmaking as well. So if you're single fellas or if you're single girls, just take part in the LOUGHKEY Forest Triathlon Club.
Yeah, that could happen, but just when you're on the point, we can't take credit for that wedding, I'm afraid, because they were both involved with a previous club before they joined triathlon.
All right,
they both met. Well, they were in school together, but they both met when they were rowing together in Carrick Rowing Club, another very local athletic sports club we have in the locality, which I rowed myself actually for a while back in the day. But Paul and Hazel actually met through rowing, so we can't take credit for that. But that's also another great facility we have in the area. So we have so many sports clubs. We could go on for a long time with them all. But it's great to see that people are active and everyone's encouraged to be out. And it's normal to be walking and running the roads and cycling the roads, where one time it mightn't have been. Like, it's everyone's out running now, or they're active in some way. Like,
Yeah.
it's great to see. That's what it's all about.
And of course, with the weather that we've had over the last couple of weeks, it was nearly flooded enough that you could use that you could use the rowing boats on the roads. I think in some places there was so much flooding, but that's another day's work.
But skin is waterproof, so we learned that this year anyway. None of us melted yet.
That's it. So listen, thanks very much, William, for taking the time out to do the interview with us. We'd like to wish you all the best for the future, and before long we'll have another discussion again to get an update and to see how things have been going, and
brilliant.
See what else is coming up, and we look forward to that. No problem. Thanks very much. And that was William Little from LOUGHKEY.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah, and that's William Little from LOUGHKEY Forest Triathlon Club, giving us an update on all things that have gone on in the last 12 months and what's coming up in the next 12 months. No.